Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Apple report for Thursday, March 16th, 2023. Before we walk through all the charts, I just want to encourage you to please click like every time you watch the daily Apple report and subscribe to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel and check out wickedstocks.com. We put out the daily Apple and Tesla report every day for free on YouTube, but what you're missing at wickedstocks.com is the daily Triple Q, the NASDAQ 100 ETF, the daily SPY, the S&P 500 ETF, also, weekly analysis in the S&P 500 index, NASDAQ 100 index, the long bond 20-year TLT ETF, as well as 2 individual stock picks a week that are presented in this very same video format. On Tuesday, we put out United Health Group. Now, the reason I'm going to all this is we are now offering a 25% off reduction on your first month subscription that ends on Friday. So check out the wickedstocks.com website. You go through the payment gateway and type out Lucky 2023. It doesn't matter whether it's uppercase or lowercase, it'll work regardless. Lucky 2023 will give you 25% off your first month. It's $47 a month normally. You'll have 25% off of that, and you'll have it, on a continuum. You may like it. If you don't, we offer a 5-day money-back guarantee, and cancellation is allowed at any time. And that's all I'm going to say. Check us out at wickedstocks.com. Finally, here we are. Apple, big picture, work our way into the day. We came off the low to mid 120s in January. This was a targeted support region that held nicely. At the time that it held, we were mentioning how this channel structure way above the market at 169.78 should be considered in reach by some point in 2023. And so here we are, about, 5/8 of the way back up, maybe not that far, maybe so. On the way up, about 4 weeks into that rally, we settled above a couple of key levels. One is the 1/3 speed line at 135.90 and the channel top at 140.07. And when we closed, actually gapped above and closed above this 140.07 channel top, we then indicated 172.28 channel resistance as a 3 to 5 month objective. And that's kind of where we are. Now, recently, the sell-off was contained by this rising 2/3 speed line that today is at 149.37 and can continue to contain selling through next week, possibly into later April. From here, anticipating the upper 150s, low 160s over the next 1 to 2 weeks. And I'll get to that in a moment. But let's look at the day itself and continue to show that 150, 158, very simple trend line coming off these highs. I like this trend line because of the spike high nature of these highs. And while it hasn't performed all that well, it has performed relatively well. I do know that for much of the day, it was contained until later afternoon. So this actually 150, 158 trend line did perform pretty decently even on Wednesday. And it now is day support, assuming we open above it, 153.83 in reach, which is the high settlement price from about a week and a half ago. We can top out there on an intraday basis, but know that this market is coiled for bullish continuation above the 149.37 speed line, which is trend defining, and now most recently above 150, 158. So pushing through or opening above 153.83 today shouldn't come as a great surprise. And if so, 157.50 is in reach by the closing bell. 157.50 is this high from back in October. We came very close to retesting it in February. I think the high then was 157.38. So 157.50 able to contain session strength, and that's about it. If we close today above 157.50, this 1 to 2 week targeted region I mentioned a moment ago in the 159.38 to 160.49 region would be likely reached within just 1 to 3 days of closing above 157.50. This 159.38 to 160.49 region can contain at least weekly buying pressures, possibly well into April. And I've been mentioning how when we were testing this speed line at 159.37, how you may reach for, let's say, 160 out of the money calls that don't expire for at least several weeks. And that is still the play. And, yesterday's settlement above 158 lends support to that idea. We also have a new rising channel top at 160.64. So we'll be watching all these come together. And once again, 157.50 is right about here. You can see that if we close today above 157.50, we'll probably tomorrow test that 159.38 to 160.40 region. So in terms of the 3 to 5 day swing trade and the 2 to 3 week short-term investment trade, we are still bullish above 149.37. This is your bottom picking zone. I'm not sure if we'll see it today, but if so, and you haven't gone long yet, this could be your long setting, your resting bid, if you will, above which the lower 160s, upper 150s expected over the next couple of weeks. And if you bought those 160 calls a few days ago, you're probably seeing some degree of appreciation on them right now, and we could get up there in a hurry where we could top out at least on a weekly basis. So if we push into this zone over the next few days, let's say, you may liquidate that out of the money call and reach for, 150, 152 out of the money puts. Because, this speed line won't be there then, but there will be other things in the lower 150s. We'll take it as we see it if that occurs. How's that? And you'll just be tuning into the Apple report as we move into the upper 150s, low 160s. We'll see what the new trend-defining support might be on the daily chart, because it is a pretty dynamic approach. Last thing I'll say about the upper 150s, low 160s, that if we do close above this area over the next couple of weeks, it would be consistent with the 3 to 5 month buy signal from early February. And with that, inside of 3 to 5 weeks, possibly 2 to 3 weeks, we should reach the 172.28 area. So I'll prompt you now that if we close above 160.49, you may reach for 170 out of the money calls that don't expire for at least a month. They would be a little pricier then than they might be now, but there's no saying we're going to reach this upper area anytime soon unless we close above 160.49, because this area in the upper 150s, low 160s just might contain buying through April, and we could fall off again from here. So, for those of you, for whatever reason, maybe you have your own research, or you think that Apple should be sold at higher price levels, you don't anticipate seeing 172.28, you can have Apple upper 150s, low 160s, because there's no saying it may actually contain longer term buying pressures, like for a month or longer, and we could fall off from here. At that point in time, we'll take a fresh look at the new speed lines and the new channel structures coming up in terms of what is the new near to midterm support for this market below 159.38. Getting back to this level here, 159.37. If we close below 159.37 today, the market pivots aggressively south into next week. 143.36, then a realistic 3 to 5 day target, and over the next 2 full weeks, 140.07. So if we close below 149.37 and you bought those 160 calls, and if they expire in a couple of 2-3 weeks, you may consider just liquidating them, bailing out of them, and then reaching for 140 out of the money puts that don't expire for at least a couple of weeks, because that is then the new play. Closing below 149.37, this market pivots south. The 3 to 5 day swing trade down to 143.36. The 1 to 2 week position trade down to 140.07, where we can bottom out once again through the rest of Q2 and then turn higher again from there. The 3 to 5 day swing trade, of course, remains bullish above 149.37, and I'm going to just call it a 1 to 2 week swing trade, because above 149.37, I do think the upper 150s, low 160s are calling, and that is really, I think, all that needs to be said for Thursday's Daily Apple Report. Please click like, subscribe, check out wickedstocks.com. Give us a try. You probably won't regret it. And if you do, you get your money back in 5 days. Lucky 2023 is the coupon code. You have a great evening, and we will talk tomorrow.